Hey guys, Mitsu here, welcome back. It is defense replays for Ether Raids, and this time we have week 87, which is light season. And we're just going to go through my defense losses this week, or my defense replays rather. I had 20 lift loss in total this week. 2 failures, one of them was in lift loss control. Both failures were with one of the opponent's units killed. So a fairly successful week. Now my estimation, looking over it again, is that I just got a bit lucky with the gacha. Or not with the gacha, with this sort of algorithms, being sorted. Because the opponent's teams weren't entirely competent throughout. I do think that you could clear it out fairly easily if you have the units to do so, especially so with a good hit and run team with a Milla. You probably can take this team out very easily. I'm surprised more people didn't do so. But, long story aside, let's get into the defense replays. And I'll just do it chronologically, so from day 1 through to the last day. Let's begin with some kind of weird Japanese signs or whatever it is. So, day 1 made me quite happy because it was a Kronya clear, and or a Kronya clear attempt. So, but no S slots, so whatever. We have a unmerged Hector, we have a unmerged Air with chill attack, we have a Kronya who is +8, with pretty much base kit. I think Desperation's in her base kit, right? And then she's got Close Counter, she's got Savage Blow, she's got Fierce Stance. Pretty good. It's got Luna, which I think is odd, but whatever. Then we've got an unmerged Robin as the bonus unit, and we have a Close Guard Peony, whatever that is supposed to be for. So just something to note, I do change the trap placements throughout the week, so that will change. So this kind of move here, which kind of works out there, wouldn't work out quite as well later on because that's where the real bull trap would be. Right now it's over there, and so it hits all of their units. They do make use of it in order to take out Bram, but then Air is there and really exposed, and I do have to wonder what they're trying to do here. And yeah. Now, that happens because Lysithea cannot attack as Fina is in the way. Roy has enough defense in order to take out Kronya without dying. Unfortunately, Yoon dies in her attempt to kill Hector, but now Lysithea is in play. And just check again, she's right in the range of healing terror, so she heals up perfectly. Hector is pretty heavily debuffed from the shrines, and yeah, that's fine. Now, Wings of Mercy dancers come into play, rather. And we get a perfect clear. That's the first replay. Second replay is of incredible Felicia. Like, these are all just supports. Look at this. There's a level 1 wrist. This is marvel at this. Marvel at this beautiful man. Look how well built he is. Look at his incredible stats. 43 HP at level 1. Bonus stats on level 1 units are funny. The only reason he's here is Chill Def in his S slot. Now we have a +1 Air, which has Fire Guidance. And then we've got a Temari Air. And then we have Felicia, who is the carry here. This is a triple mythic Felicia, so she's supposed to get all of the stats, right? Summoner supported, supported with Corrin, which I do think is kind of odd. I do get it story-wise, right? Story-wise, it makes sense, but get Corrin in here. Put him in! He gives her stats, just put him in! In any case, so, he's not there, and so then we have a Peony, so she's getting +10 to her res, which you do see, considering she has 53 base, and with the buff, it's 60. And his goal is going to be to put her up here, and then think that she can tank all that comes her way, but he underestimated the full damage potential of my team, unfortunately. Poor bloke. So he sets it up multiple turns, then he decides, okay, now's the time, buffer up, take out Fina. Now we can take this, right? Well, even though Lysithea is debuffed, she's doing a lot of damage. And now Bram is there. And that is that. And at that point, they give up. Was it this? This one was a beautiful clear. I loved this. I was marveling at this for a good while. So we have a Milla. Now this is something I was fearing, people using Milla in order to isolate Tethys here. Now what I was fearing is that they would take out Fina. That's why I ended up putting the real bull trap there, so that they can't do that there anymore. But it still is possible by taking out the panic manner and doing so on that side. Now I do want to disincentivize that through Roy being here and being able to reach far, but at the same time you do have to realize, or I have to, I do know, he's not going to reach far enough because he's only going to hit until this spot here. So if you do have a competent repo play, you can get your units out of the way, though it isn't exactly the easiest way to do it. Now, it is possible. I have friends who can do it. In any case, so we have Amilla here doing this sort of isolating, we have an unmerged heir with double Swift Sparrow, and here is the carry. It is a summoner-supported Festive Tactician Robin with 73 HP. Christ. Quite fast, quite bulky, he's got Tannin Bloom, so he's got even more on enemy phase, and yeah, joint drive attack in there, which doesn't really come into play here. Oh, I forgot to add the others. It's a +1 Robin, which does nothing, so no real reason. Guidance, I'm not quite sure why, in any case, but then we have another +1 Peony with Flyer Guidance 1, which is just odd. But in any case, that's the team. So, he decides to smite in Robin. Oh, that's the real trap, so then he takes out Bram. Now, here's the problem when you do that. He hasn't damaged Roy, because Roy isn't in the range of the bull trap, so he has full HP. He can survive this, and he is fast enough to double. So he can go, he will lunge out, and at that point he can then go into the back lines if he wants. Furthermore, since Ground Orders is on Yoon, she can jump in, and now you'll see how that lovely little play turns out. And that is a give up, obviously, or rather a surrender. But you can see that that was beautiful. I wasn't expecting it to work that well, but it does. And here are two clears, the only clears this week. And yeah, one of them was sort of what I've expected, but not really because there was no isolation. But this is really what I was expecting. Using units like Mia to clear on the right. So, by goes Fina, and Repo out. Now, this is a questionable play, not because Self is the problem. Even a minus attack Self takes out a Roy pretty handily, which is, honestly, he's quite underrated. He is quite underrated. Self is a big boy. He can take a lot, and he can dish out a lot. But here comes the problem. Bram with the Dancer, and he can reach Azura. So they take out one pot, and then they kill you. Which is like, you can take that if you want. One unit loss and one pot loss is not the greatest clear, but whatever. This one does it better. It's another Kronia clear. This one is a lot more competent, but even then he loses a unit. So both of the attempts with Kronia failed. This is close to what I run in Astra, except with Moonbow, because she doesn't get enough attack. No, doesn't get enough attack. Bit careful with that claim. She does get enough, let's say, when she gets that attack buff from Azura, and then especially if she gets even more buffs. And she's very, very fast in Light Season. So, yeah, Gambel's on a trap, moves them out, has a healing tower so he can heal back up. And it's a max level offensive healing tower. Wow. So this is probably an older player, considering his structures are very, very leveled, unlike mine. Then he checks, I'm guessing he couldn't take out the units up there, so he decided to move back. Probably Bram was too bulky, which doesn't surprise me, and then he decides, okay, now is the time to take all of them out. And because Legendary Zura gives 3 movement, Air can take out there. Now, you're still in trouble because Air can't survive, man. So he loses Air, but he just takes it. And then he can isolate Tethys in the corner, and from there on out, he's fine. Yeah, and now it's just a matter of getting all the pots and then killing Tethys. Yep, so decent clear. Again, lost a unit, not the greatest clear, but it is what it is. Now we have another 3 successes. Now, this one here, we have a very odd Marth. I do not see, don't use him if you can't put distant counter on him. It is my take. You have a Vantage weapon unit. He only really comes into his own when he has distant counter, because then he can use Vantage against all units. If he cannot use Vantage against all units, he is kind of lost. He's not making full use of his abilities. Then we have an unmerged base kit. Peony, we have an unmerged minus attack Crom, F, damn, I keep forgetting he has such high attack. Then we have a +1 Air with Renewal, which is just odd. And then we have a +1 Robin, so quite an odd team. And, well, not quite sure what to make of that, but, you know, they do try. They also wait until the Bull Tower, and this is sort of the kind of play you would expect with this kind of team setup. Since most Bull Towers are in the middle, they'll wait till the Bull Tower hits, and then they'll go in order to take out the big threat, which is Brown. Now, here's just again something to note. You cannot double a Roy unless you have null follow-up or something, and you probably cannot take him out because he is quite bulky. So, yeah. Your backlines aren't safe. And by the way, there's a Lysithea here, and you are underestimating her. Oops. Oh well. So, Lysithea did some damage, and after that, Yoon could take out the rest. So now it's rather funny, he'll get timed out, decides to move back in order to heal up again a bit. Then he moves back up but gets hit by the Bull Trap. And even though my units can't do enough, he can't take them out because he doesn't have distant counter. So tough luck, my man. And he's completely timed out. Now I'm not quite sure why he even continued at that point, to be honest, because, I mean, Do not take a win with 1 unit. Just don't. As long if you have ladders, that is. So this is the next one, isn't it? Yep. Now, this man, I'm not sure what he was thinking, honestly. So he decided to isolate. I mean, what is this kit, honestly? Just please. Then we have a +2 Grima. We have a +9 Echidna, which is very impressive with Repel. Very nice kit, huge fan, all of that, very nice. Then we've got a Unmerged Peony, again, S slots. Just put on S slots, guys. Honestly, just put on S slots. Clearly, you're not a complete noob, considering how many towers you have and how leveled they are. So, you should have the Sacred Coins, and you should have the Seals in order to give them S slots. Do it. Now, this man... Oh, I should... just be clear, right? Summoner supported, that explains the stats. This man makes a big mistake. He thinks, oh, huge fan, right? Activates when a bonus is active on a unit. Well, active. What happens if you give her only a res buff? And Bram has lull attack res. It's not active. Right. So she only has a res buff. Bram has little attack res. So what does Huge Fan do? Nothing. It does nothing. And hence she doesn't get a cooldown reduction. Bram survives, and the dancers come in. And Bram thinks, well, hell, I'll take out some units. Here comes Yoon, moves out somebody, and Lysithea flies in. Hey, there go you units. And that is that. And to our last match. Now, this team setup confuses me. I have never seen her on AR offense. And she's minus attack. What are you doing? Why is she on attack? I don't understand. I just do not understand this. Oh well. Not quite sure. Really not sure what to make of this. So, Tamari, Air, Milla, Bizarre Flora. Mia is honestly the best unit, but he doesn't make use of her. And then even Pulse Tie Lucina. Can't say I've seen that before, but oh well. So, again, he smites onto the bull trap, as many have done here for some reason. All of them think that is not the real trap, which makes me rather happy, honestly. So basically, they were waiting in order to heal up Flora, and then they decide, okay, now's the time to go in. They smite her up in order to take out Bram. They can take out Bram. And then I guess the idea is that she can take it with Lucina's support. But buddy, this is an effective unit. And even though you have a lot of defense, she's going to do damage. And then it's not hard to take out your unit. And Yoon takes out another foe, and yeah. Once again, Amiya takes out my Lysithea, and now comes a really fun play. Yoon can drag back. Oh, Yoon can get danced. So he continues trying, but I'm not quite sure why. it's obvious at this point that Yoon will attack, and then after that Roy can attack, and then it's over. And it's turn 8, and this match is over. So yeah, that was my defense for this week. I was surprisingly happy with it. I mean, I was expecting many losses, a lot of lift loss. I was expecting so much lift loss that at my current lift, I would not be in tier 27. That was my expectation. I was expecting 140 or so lift loss, to be completely honest. But it ended up not being that way, so that really saved my butt. And yeah, very happy that it worked out as it did, but I'm not sure it has to do with my defense. I think it has more to do with the fact that I got very lucky with the opponents that were allotted to me. So I'll keep my eyes on this defense and how it works. I'll keep it like this for now because I'm quite happy with these results, but I don't think it is meaningfully better than the last one that it justifies this level of difference. So I will, consider my options, consider what kind of changes I can make, and then kind of move as I go. But very happy with this week. I'm very happy with how AR turned out as a whole. I'm not quite happy with that one last offense match. I'm sure some of you at least saw that. But otherwise, I can't complain. And yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. We've reached tier 27. We had decent results on defense. And I hope the same applies to you. And I will see you guys then for Astra Week. I hope you enjoyed this week, and I will see you then. Take care. Bye.